How did you get into advising?
I did not go into advisory work to become an advisor. After I exited my last full-time position, I did not know how to interview for leadership level roles as I only had one data point in the past. In my first job, I grew for 8 years. After that, I picked the company incorrectly because I didn't know what to ask and watch out for. Everything was rainbows and unicorns. So I just jumped off the cliff, and then I realized that it was not a good fit. As a result, when searching for my next job, I wanted to reduce the risk of a bad match and increase my chances of long-term retention with the company. Recruiting is very heavily optimized for acquisition, not retention. Both company and candidate aggressively sell to each other. In this selling mode, there is very little truth being told about actual problems on either side. The focus is on closing and signing a contract. To me, success would be staying with the company over 5 years, not signing a shiny new deal with the biggest salary. I couldn't figure out how to get through that bullshit of unicorns being thrown at you. Everything is great. We're unicorns. We're a hyper-growth company. We just need you to come in and everything is going to be incredible. But they won't tell you about the actual issues and cockroaches in the closet that you'll need to address. I thought of advising as a product-led growth strategy. Try before you buy. What if I don't have to sign on the dotted line? Instead, I can have a certain level of engagement with the company to see what's actually going on, get past that honeymoon phase, and then have a conversation about whether I'm the right match for them and vice versa. In the meantime, I also thought this would be a really great opportunity for me to get exposed to more companies. I could learn more about different teams, industries, and company sizes, and make a more informed decision for myself. This is especially important because a short-term tenure can be penalized when viewed in the context of a full-time role. It can give the impression that you are not able to interview or scale with the company correctly. So I decided to collect more patterns to make a better full-time decision. This is how my journey as an advisor began. Then I started to enjoy identifying patterns not just in different company sizes and cultures, but also in how businesses do growth. For me, that was an unlock. I could either put all my eggs in one basket and deeply learn how a certain company does growth, or sample across 10 companies, run a large-scale multivariate experiment on everything I tried to get them to do, and then see how it plays out, separating data points from patterns or one-offs from actual frameworks. I found this path very fascinating, and I committed to it after about 6 months of doing it.
That's a cool story. It's a very analytical and pragmatic approach. I think it also makes sense for companies, right? It seems logical for founders to hire advisors first. In fact, why wouldn't this become a standard way of hiring senior people?
I hope so. Founders may be not satisfied with this approach if they need someone to fill that role. I appreciate that advising may be hard to commit to, but there are two important points to consider. Number one is the amount of time it takes to find the right person that exactly meets your specific requirements. On average, it takes 6-12 months to hire a leader, at a minimum. Alternatively, you can relax your requirements and hire someone more quickly, without being too specific about industry, stage, or tenure, and attach an advisor to them right away. This way, you can hit the ground running much faster. So it's a shortcut. You can go to any leader, say the president at HubSpot, and ask them to become your advisor. But can you realistically recruit a president at HubSpot? So why not hire someone who fits 60% to 70% of your job specification, and then hire a president at HubSpot as an advisor to that person? That's a shortcut to getting the best of both worlds. You get the brain of the person you believe has the right patterns, and then you get someone on the ground to execute for you.
So that's one really great shortcut. I also believe that more leadership hiring should start with interim contracts. For example, a 1-year contract with the possibility of converting to a full-time role.
This is a true test of a right match, and it has less consequences if it's a bad match, because many leadership hires are a bad match due to incorrect information presented at the time of hiring. At least at this point, you have an exit date for that person. When you do offer them a full-time position, you can be 100% sure that it's the right match for you. However, there is a lot of anxiety from employees who want the security of a full-time contract, as well as from companies that want a false sense of security that they have the right person for the job. I think it's important to recognize that there is more liquidity in finding matches, not just through the contract sign, but through these try before you buy scenarios. The better we are at doing this, the better off we'll be as an industry. Although there may be some initial discomfort, I hope that it will start to dissipate soon.